by the way. You know, by the way, like. Okay, this is where are you?
Is it Rajasthan in the northwest? Yeah. Oh, Rajasthan's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, all India is beautiful. Yeah. You're welcome to sit next to my first. My stuff. We'll go in double speed this evening.
These guys are in the back one.
Shabbat Shalom. Behold how good and how pleasant it is that we are together as one congregational family. We begin with Hine Matov. Page 11. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Again, Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Woo! We continue on page 14 with Lecha Dodi. You're excited.
Come, my friends, to meet the bride. Let us welcome the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat ne'ekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat ne'ekabela. שמעו וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ולתהילה. lecha דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. lecha דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה ותהילה. lecha דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. lecha דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני אליי נגלה. lecha דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. lecha דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, lecha דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. lecha דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
Continuing on page 7.
Welcome. Welcome to the Brotherhood Shabbat. We have taken pride and pleasure in preparing this Shabbat service. We have been enriched by this process, and it is our hope that you will find meaning in this service. Brotherhood Shabbat is not only an opportunity for us to give something to the congregation, it is an opportunity for us to explore who we are. Brotherhood affords us a unique forum to be who we are, Jewish men. Being a part of Brotherhood has added much to our lives, allowing us to deepen our commitment to each other, our community, to Judaism, to God. Through worship, we give voice to this, and tonight we share this voice with you. We gather tonight with friends and family to welcome Shabbat. And as we do on Shabbat, we step back from the restlessness of our daily occupations, from the frenzied pursuit of success, and take sightings on our course through life. Tonight we acknowledge our essential independence with our fellow human beings, that to sustain life, we must live together in society and work together if we are to realize our aspirations of a rational and spiritual life. We further acknowledge that this principle has meaning only to the extent that we enforce it in our own lives. Concepts of equality, justice, and dignity are sterile unless they are brought to life in our daily confrontations with each other. To ensure the dignity of our lives, we must reach out to touch and demonstrate our concerns by deeds. Shabbat Shalom.
How do we make Shabbat something special? Page 13, please. Backwards, forwards. There we are. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On the Shabbat, we seek not to acquire but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that we can never be exhausted. On the Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On the Shabbat, we are reminded that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. Therefore, we welcome Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. Shalom.
Page 16. Actually, yeah,
Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai, Kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai, Shir Chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai, Kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai, Shir Chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
hello, Ms. Marshall. Page 17.
Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, uletzamer leshimcha elyon, uletzamer leshimcha elyon. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, uletzamer leshimcha elyon, ולצמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור עליון, נצמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולצמר לשמך עליון, לצמר לשמך עליון, לצמר לשמך עליון, עליון.
We invite the Rudies up to light candles.
In every beginning, there is darkness. The darkness of chaos seems eternal, yet form emerges. Light dawns and life is born.
In the beginning, the Most High, heaven and earth.
In every beginning, there is darkness, the darkness of ignorance, which smothers human dignity, the darkness of fear, which chokes the creative will, the darkness of tyranny, which stifles freedom.
The Most High said, "Let there be light." The Sabbath candles, guys. One more reading.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Sabbath candles celebrate the divine power that makes for life and light.
Be a little thing. Let me just say to you, that's a wonderful metaphor because we have to think positively about the future.
Yes, sir.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, halom asher kadosh b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'chanim asher Shabbat.
Blessed is the eternal power that inspires our people to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Blessed is the source of life and light.
Kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehad.
Patsy? 21.
Page 21.
21.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'omad v'rach yurtei ve'amlik malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon u'chayei techol beit Yisrael ba'agala ba'agala u'vizman kaviv be'imeru amen. Yehesh me'rava mevorach le'olam olam me'almaya yitbarach yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran be'alma imeru amen.
Page 22, we continue with Brotherhood.
I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to lie, lie, yalla lie, 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 lie, lie. Barechu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Vaed. Leolam Vaed. Yalla lie, lie, lie. 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 Yalla lie, lie, lie.
On page 20, it's a trick. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, behochma poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna meshana itim, chalef et hazmanim, sader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotechem barakir kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mitpnei choshech, v'choshech mitpnei or, umavdir yom uvein layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai tzavaot shemo, El Hai Vikayam Tamid Nimloch Aleinu Leolam Vaed Baruch Atah Adonai Hama'ariv. Together, you are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light. You cause day to pass and bring on the night. You set day and night apart. You are Adonai. May the living and eternal God rule us always to the end of time. Blessed is Adonai, whose word makes evening fall.
Page 26 on the top of the page. And how yielding is the will of our people Israel. After the long nights, after the days and years when our ashes blacken the sky, Israel endures, heart still turned to love, soul turning still to life.
So day and night, early and late, we will rejoice in the study of Torah. We will walk by light and mitzvot. They are our life and length of our days. Praise is the source of life and love, and Israel our people.
Let's take a deep breath in.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Page 28. Join me in Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, וחיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושינה הדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו your God with all your mind, with all your strength, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I, the Eternal, am your God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I, the Eternal, am your God.
These quiet moments of Shabbat open my soul. Blessed with another week of life, I give thanks to the Eternal who creates and sustains us. For all the good I have known during the days that have passed, I am very grateful. I know I have not always responded with the best effort, but often I did earnestly try. I have tried to give my family love and devotion, and I pray that I may grow more loving as the years pass. Even as I regret my weakness, I rejoice in the accomplishments. Let these achievements, O God, lead to many others. May I be blessed on each Shabbat with the sense of having grown in goodness and compassion. Yet more. Let my action testify to my worth as your partner in creation. More and more, let me find my life's meaning in working with others to bless our lives by making this a better world.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נעדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה, זה אלי אנו ואמרו, Se'eli anu ve'ameru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh Norah tehilot Ose pele, nora teilo, ose pele. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la.
We continue on page 31.
That wherever we go, it's eternally Egypt. That there is a better place, a promised land. That the winding way to that promise, passes through the wilderness. That there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Page 32, the Shamru.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berith olam. B'nei Uvein b'nei Yisrael Oti le'olam Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berith olam. Ki sheshet yamim Asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'arit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash olam.
Page 33, please. God, open my heart that I might allow you inside. They say we're supposed to be in a palace, so we bow and take certain steps as the prescribed supplication drops from our lips. But what do we really know of castles and kings? My kitchen faucet constantly leaks. The kids' faces usually need cleaning. If a door opened to a real palace, I'd probably forget and carry the load of groceries in. No, the door we stand in front of when the Amida begins is silence. And when we open it and step through, we arrive in our hearts. Mine's not a fancy place, no jewels, no throne, certainly not fit for a king. But in that small chamber, just a few moments on Sabbath, God and I can roll up our sleeves, put some schnapps out on the table, sit down together, and finally talk. That's palace enough for me. L'chaim.
And continuing on 34. Where has this week vanished? And continuing on 34. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything? The realized hope, the task accomplished? Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time.
Adonai, Adonai, Spatai Tiftah. Adonai, Ufi Agi Tahilatecha. Adonai, Adonai, Spatai Tiftah. Adonai, Ufi Agi Tahilatecha. Baruch Atah Adonai. I thought we did do high tonight. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu Ve'imoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov
Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor VeHaNorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekoneh HaKol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot, Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava. Page 37. Ata Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Akol Ata Rav Leoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalke L'chaim Bechesed, Yafar, Micha Mocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Ata L'chayot HaKol, Baruch Ata Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. Page 41. Ata Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kdoshim B'chol Yom Yalu Chasela, Baruch Ata Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. And we're going back to page 38.
Judaism is to me something akin to oxygen. It is a vital, life-giving, fundamental part of my everyday existence, central to everything that I can become. And yet it is so second nature that rarely do I stop to consider its full meaning and importance. The fact is, most of the time, it is like breathing air and is something of which I rarely take conscious notice. Yet, taking a step back and really evaluating its importance, I know it is something I constantly carry with me.
Page 44, please be seated.
The higher goal of spiritual living is not to amass a wealth of information, but to face sacred moments. In a religious experience, for example, it is not a
Close the Siddur for a minute. This one's not in the book. I'm here to talk about what is the Temple Emanu-El Brotherhood. When I was about her height, Brotherhood was a bunch of old guys who did mysterious old guy things. I knew I knew that they met. I knew bagels were involved, but beyond that, until sometime around 2016, I started showing up at Brotherhood's monthly planning meetings. I think Dan Lee is probably the one who talked me into coming, luring me with a bagel breakfast. The first hit's always free. And even though I'm now going into my second year as this organization's secretary, my early participation mostly took the form of eating the bagels and the other meals. You see, back then, David Wiesner was the Brotherhood's president, and in addition, he was Brotherhood president in addition to running his own restaurant, and he ran a tight, if food-oriented ship. Nobody ever left any Brotherhood event feeling hungry. It'd be forgivable for a newcomer like me if I thought that food were the only purpose of the Brotherhood, but it's not. The true mission of our organization is supporting our temple as a whole, and the youth in particular. It's why you'll see Brotherhood volunteers so many times throughout the school year feeding our religious school students pancakes and tacos and pasta and latkes and hot dogs and chicken nuggets. See our bright smiling faces. But what really is the Brotherhood? And I'll tell you, it's a fantastic way to get involved in temple life. Sure, there's a lot of opportunities here to join a committee. Became a new part of Brotherhood, meeting up at parks and trails and hiking and biking, an effort which still runs strong thanks to people like Ron Blumstein and David Goldberg. And that's just one example. There's many. Brotherhood members organize dinners and liquor tastings and gifts and scholarships and set up the Heritage Theater for High Holy Days and visit one another when they're sick and go with each other to the movies and so much more. By having such a huge, wide scope, Brotherhood really is able to take any idea and make it successful. So even though the idea of a gender-themed social club doesn't sound very 2024 of us, for those of us who participate in Brotherhood, those of us who bicker at the board meetings only to bicycle alongside one another 20 minutes later, Brotherhood, the organization, really has been such an enriching facet of our Temple Emanu-El community, and there's no replacement or analog. So thank you for joining Brotherhood tonight here on the patio. If you want to join us at other things, just come talk to any of us. We'll tell you all about it. And Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. Thank you, Brandon. I think that was awesome, actually. It really was. That was awesome. And I also appreciate you bringing out gender, because I do think it would be cool as a synagogue to start looking at sisterhood and brotherhood from a different lens. And I think it's important for us to move to our next stage as a congregation that way. So I appreciate that you know us. And I think it's about finding what that is, you know? And I think that referring to brotherhood as those that connect to the gender of male, and sisterhood as those that connect to the gender of female is lovely for those that connect to those two, but for those that are fluid, what happens to them? So I think we have some things to talk about as a congregation that I'm actually excited about. It doesn't intimidate me, it just tells me we're willing to embrace the future and to kind of look at things a little bit differently. It's making real stuff happen. A lot of the stuff that people are just not aware of. And I just want to, again, thank them. Now I have to do a word of Torah. I just have to, because we're together. It's Vet Chanan, we're in the book of Deuteronomy. And those two candles, the reason why we have two candles is based on, partially because of this Torah portion. I don't know if you know that. So we have the retelling of the Ten Commandments in this week's portion, and the only difference between this telling of the Ten Commandments and Exodus' version of the Ten Commandments is the law about the Sabbath. When it says in the book of Exodus, you shall remember the Sabbath, it says in the book of Deuteronomy, you shall keep shamor the Sabbath. So you shall remember, that's from Exodus, and you shall do. That's from Deuteronomy. And that's what we have too. To remind each of us that memory is really important, but action is as well, and that they go together. So we need to remember, but we need to keep doing action. So invite us to take a deep breath in the beauty of our courtyard together, as we have our hummingbird friends joining us periodically, which are magnificent. I haven't seen my buddy, the redhead, lately. Was he here? Okay, go. I'll make sure he's around. But just take a moment and think about a variety of things that Brenda and I just brought up. Whatever works for you. Mostly, just take a deep breath and just be in this moment.
Rahava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rahava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Echol HaShalom Shalom Rahava Yisrael Tasim leolam, Shalom Rahava Yisrael Tasim leolam, V'tov b'necha levarech et amcha Yisrael, bechol עת ובכל שעה Bishlomecha Shalom Rahava Yisrael Tasim leolam Shalom Rahava Yisrael Tasim leolam Tasim leolam Nasihim Leolam.
We now focus our energies toward those who are ill and in need of healing. On this Shabbat, we think of Seth Ammerman, Janet Agrovich, August Al, Sharon Borowski, Ara Berkowitz, Don Barnett, not really, Dr. Arnold Berliner, Pauline Bronstein, Carol Brindell, Francie Brown, John Castro, Talia Sorowski, Bonnie Coleman, Deanna Courtwright, Ellen Dover, Toby Ellman, Diane Fisher, Judith Ganji, Juan Garcia, Marcia Garcia, Erica Gardner, Jerry Gassman, Marcia Giesmeyer, Stephen Marceri, Rich McCarthy, Misty Johnson, Naomi Nakano Matsumoto, Glenn Overstreet, Melanie Pearson, Barry Pinsley, Ann Port, Sherry Prezant, Stephanie Rasmussen, Ramon Rivas, Julius Rodriguez, Daryl Sanchez, Laura Sanders, Victoria Schneider, Norman Schoenfeld, Norma Slavitt, Laura Sepulstra, Rabbi Jonathan Stein, Jonathan Stern, Margie Stein, Donna Thyman, Sue Timpson, Carol Turnbull, Sue Witten, Monica Wiley, Orrin Wood, Yaakov Ben Eda, Megan Young, Rich Zerberger. If you wish to add another name to our healing list, I invite you to raise your hand. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We wish upon all those you mentioned a refuah shlema, a speedy and complete recovery, as we join together praying for their better health as we turn to page 54 from Misha Berach by Debbie Freeman.
Mishe Berach Avotenu Makor HaBracha Laimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe Berach Imotenu Mekol HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Jeff Rudy, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to our Courtyard Shabbat led by Rabbi Dana Magad and Brotherhood. After the service, you are welcome to join us in the back of the courtyard for Kiddush, Hamotzi, and Oneg. Today's Oneg is sponsored by Jeff and Ellen Rudy and Brotherhood in honor of Brotherhood Shabbat. Please check your handout, our Shalom table, or online for all our upcoming activities. Please note that tonight is the deadline for high holiday greetings and connections. Next weekend, we hope to see you at Pride Shabbat at Congregation Beth David, starting at 6:30 with a renewal-style Kabbalat Shabbat service. Also, Assemblyman Evan Lowe will be speaking about his experiences entering politics as a gay man. So don't miss this wonderful Shabbat celebration. Since we will not have a service here, next week's Yotzites will be read the following Shabbat. Also, next weekend, find us in the Interfaith booth at the Pride Festival at Cesar Chavez Park down, and at the Pride Parade on Sunday morning. See details online. One more thing. The Giants versus the Brewers Jewish Heritage Night is on September 12th. See Ron Bloomstein if you're interested. Shabbat Shalom.
So next weekend is our Pride Weekend here in San Jose, and so Okay, cool. So that should be wonderful. And then that Saturday night, we have something downtown. And then, of course, Sunday, it actually begins, we'll say 9 o'clock. It was going to be 8 o'clock. We just moved it to 9 o'clock. There's an interfaith service at St. James Park. It was going to be at First Unitarian, but it's now at St. James Park. I'll be participating in that interfaith service. And then from there, we'll go to the parade, which is an hour later, or 30 minutes after we're done with the service, which is about 30 minutes on Sunday. So that should be a wonderful weekend, and let's be out there together. And let's have pride for ourselves and for those that we love, right? That's what it's all about. Cool. Anything else we have announcement-wise? Anyone else want to give an announcement? You good? Everyone's good? Mort? Mort has an announcement. I used to always ask Mort. Okay, Mort, is there another announcement?
I don't say too much, but what's real important is Temple Emanu-El Brotherhood. You'll notice all throughout Temple that there's certain things that are plastered on the wall, certain things that Temple has given. We even brought up, this is going back years, a young man, rabbi.
What's he talking about?
Baby.
What? I was a baby. What's he talking about? What? I was a baby.
Remember your son running around.
Literally a baby running around.
Your grandchildren are doing the same thing.
That's special. Yeah, thank you.
We'll be glad to have you come and join. Not only that, but just to remind you, all the bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs that we have, that we give gifts, is for bar mitzvah gifts and bat mitzvahs. And
Appreciate that, Mark. Thank you. Appreciate all that you do, and it's nice having you here. We love our Uncle Morty.
thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Let's take a deep breath. We continue with Aleinu, page 57.
Aleinu l'shabeach Adon hakol, la'atei kedulah li'oseh b'reishit, she'emunotei shamayim v'yoseh ha'aretz, u'moshe ha'karo b'shamayim yimahal, u'shechinat kuso v'govmei meromim, Eloheinu ein od, va'anachnu koshim, u'mishtachamim u'odim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar, v'chaya Adonai, lemelech al kol ha'aretz, v'yom Vayom Hahu Yeh Adonai Echad U'Shemo I want to just take the opportunity before we do Kaddish to just thank Byron and Lily for being our soloist again this evening, doing such a wonderful job, and working with Brotherhood as well, preparing them. So thank you, Byron, for all that you do. It's kind of nice. I came with you, Byron. Page 59. When my brother suffers, I will comfort him. When my brother prospers, I will rejoice. Death must come to all. I will pray to God, creator of life, and thank God for the fellowship of my brother's days and for the memory of his goodness. As we now come to that moment when we think about members of our family who have died recently or in years past, I invite you, upon hearing the name of your loved one, if you choose to stand as a sign of love and grief for that person, and to remain standing until all the names on our yahrzeit list have been recited. Then together we will all rise. On this Shabbat, we are mindful of those that are grieving the Shloshim, the 30-day period of mourning for Janet Roden, for Stacy Lynn Wolf, and for Lorraine Mellon. We also think of those that are grieving the Shana, the first year of mourning, as we think of all those Israelis that died on October 7th. And since then, we also think of all the civilians that died in Gaza and the West Bank.
And quite frankly, we think of all those in the world that died due to violence in our world, and there's a lot of it. We also think of Jeff Andre, Sheldon Aronowitz, Mark Atlas, Frederick J. Billmeyer, Michael Blevins, Sally Colby, Mal Kosman, Vera Doktorovich, Professor David Ellenson, Frederica Edis, Ruth Fox, Marilyn Fuller, Meyer Goldberg, Vicky Nosanoff Goldman, Justin Gross, Lily Hannenberg, Vicky Nosanoff Goldman, Justin Gross, Lily Hannon, Marilyn Hanloff, Lee Henderson, Lynn Hendrickson, Helen Ibsen, Kenny Johnson, David German, Al Kaler, Margie Morad, Roz Mishkind, Barbara Neiman, Ken Nest, Nancy Polliger, Mark Pollock, Bill Poor, Harry Perwin, Harriet Reisner, Linda Rogers, Janessa Schwartz, as we think of Shirley Ball, Larry Berman, Eleanor Berman, Stephen Biro, Leonard W. Bloom, Millie Briskin, Lena Carl, Janice Cohen, Alexander Cunningham, Leigh Davis, Jenny Deshotsky, Peggy Forbes, Sam Gelman, Jack Goldstein, Bobby Gornberg, Eileen Hoffman, Esther Hoffman, Irving Hoffman, Oscar Horowitz, Irving Horstman, Gail Jacobs, Irma Soberger Carpel, Madeline Louise Kaufman, Daniel W. Gross, Gladys Crisper, Eva Levy, Morris Lovey, Francisco Machado, Conseco Machado, Sumner McGatt, Nancy Markham, Leonid Moyerman, David T. Press, Pauline Brisant, Jackie Radwin, Claire Rosenberg, Dora Rubin, Abraham Salzberg, Sophie Schwab, Randall Shev, Bertha Silverman, Samuel Weinstein, Jean Wiesner, Amos Zarchi. Zichronam Livracha, may all the memories of our loved ones endure as a blessing as we all rise, turning to page 63 to recite together our mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabba, ve'alma divrach chirutei ve'amlich malachutei, v'chayachon av yom echon, v'chay dechol beit Yisrael, b'agalav uzman kariv imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'alam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitfumam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'taleh v'talal shmei dekudesh, wherever they may be, as we say together, amen. Please be seated. Well done, Byron.
Thank you.
So we're going to end with a little Oseh Shalom, maybe, huh?
We're going to end with one of my favorite Oseh Shaloms by Debbie Friedman.
Oh,
There's something about
classic.
this song.
It's classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. I remember her leading this when I served with her at Shir Chadash in the San Fernando Valley. She was a cantor. I worked with her for 2 years, Debbie. A trip of a person to work with, to be honest. But when she led this, or led any of her pieces, it was something magnificent. You would just be in awe watching her. There's just something very magical about her. It's really
Think
cool.
of multiple things at once, you know, listening to the audience, teaching them,
Yeah.
and
she didn't read music. She didn't read music.
very musical person.
Yeah. Me also.
Yeah. Oseh Shalom Bimromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'yimeru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'yimeru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let's go in the back. We continue with Kiddush and Motzi.